Hi everyone, I'm Heather Ballantine, the founder of Root Literacy Design and a current literacy coach. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Root Literacy Design's channel to help us reach more educators. We would really appreciate it. So today I'm going to be talking about the suffix ed and its 3 sounds. I do have a separate video of me teaching this and showing how you roll it out in a classroom. The classroom that I am in is a multi-age classroom with 10 third graders and 10 fourth graders, and I can link that video in the comment section for you. So I think it is really helpful to see, how do you actually do this? What does it really look like? And so that video is already there. So here's the 3 sounds. When we think about the suffix ed, there's a phrase that I learned in my Orton Gillingham training that I really liked, and I put it on the Root Literacy Design phonograms card deck, so it's there for you. But the phrase is, I rented a boat, I sailed it away, I jumped in the water. And what that phrase does is it provides us with these 3 words that help students remember the 3 sounds. So rented, we hear a schwa and the d, sailed, jumped. And for those of you who don't know, these lines here mean the sound. So we're saying the sound between them. So the sound d, the sound t. So I'll read them again slowly so you can hear it. Rented, sailed, jumped. We don't say jumped or jumped, right? So it is very common for students whose first language is not English to have a hard time with this suffix because it doesn't exist in many other languages. And so a lot of times you'll hear students saying this sound for all of them. They'll say sailed, jumped, and that sort of a thing. So it's something to look out for. So we need to make sure that we explicitly teach this suffix and how to pronounce it to students. So I'm going to get into a little bit of why we have these 3 sounds. So it all comes down to your voice. Sail. So if we look at the last letter in the word sail, it's the letter L. L is a voiced sound. To make sure that the sound is voiced, one way you can check is you can put your hands over your ears and say "l," and you'll actually hear your voice on. So because my voice is on, it's easier to just keep it on the whole time. It's not easy to have it go from on to off. So it's on here at the L and then shut it off. It's not easy. So this sound, d, is voiced as well. So when you say d, and cover your ears, you'll hear your voice on. If you say this sound, t, and cover your ears, you'll hear the difference. And you can actually just kind of jump between them, go d, t, d, t, d, t, with your hands over your ears, and you'll hear the difference that this one is voiced and this one is not. What makes this even trickier is that these sounds are formed the same way in the mouth. They're articulated the same way. So if you pull your attention to your lips, your tongue, your teeth, your airflow, and your voice, this is the only difference going on here. So our lips are in the same formation for d and t. They're partially open. Pay attention to your tongue. What is your tongue doing in these sounds? D, t, d, t. It's behind your 2 front teeth, and it's moving, it's dropping. So your airflow, you can feel air coming out of your mouth with both of them being pushed out. So the difference is your voice. So students have a hard time hearing the differences in these sounds. But this is why we have 3 sounds. If the base word is ending in a voiced sound, you keep your voice on, you say duh. If your base word ends in an unvoiced sound, you keep your voice off and you say t. So try this. This is what I do with students, and you'll see in the other video I have. But I walk students through this and I say, we have 3 sounds and it's actually to make your life easier. And they go, what? And I'm like, no, for real. So say sail, but then instead of the sound for ed, try this one. Sailed, sailed. there's this pause that happens, and you have to reframe in your thinking and stop your voice. And if you try it the other way, if you try it with your unvoiced sound, and instead of using this sound, you use this one, jump, d, you can hear the gap happening again because your voice has to click on. So that's the main thing we're looking for students to help them understand with reading. If you end with your voice on, you keep it on. If you end with your voice off, you keep it off. Now, this brings the question, well, what about this other one here, this ed sound? When do I use that? Well, you use it when your base word ends in a D or a T. So look at rented. It's ending with a T. We don't say rent, right? Like we're not gonna apply this sound down here and say rent, and the sound t is not voiced. And so we already know it's really hard to go to this one and say rent, duh. So we need that little schwa vowel sound. And I say it's a schwa because some people, depending on what letter sound they're saying, some people say it as like the short E, and others as an I. So we just say it's a schwa because it is an unaccented syllable going on there. So rented, either pronunciation, rented, we just say it's a schwa, and that's what this is. It's the schwa sound. So that is when we use ed, when the base ends in T or D. And that's it. That's the rule of this. And then how to roll it out to students, that is already, like I said, in another video. So to learn how to teach students how to read and spell by suffixes is also a separate video. This was just covering the 3 sounds. So I hope that this is helpful for you. And if you liked the cards that I showed, they go with any curriculum, and they were designed for students of all age groups. We do not make things that are just for lower ages at Root Literacy Design. We're very mindful of multicultural students and being inclusive and showing things for students of all ages. So check out our card deck at our store if you like it. Like I said, it goes with any curriculum. So thank you for watching, and I hope this was helpful.